Did you know that it is possible to lower blood pressure without relying solely on medications? It may sound surprising, but it is true. Medications help control blood pressure, but in most cases, they don't address the underlying causes. By incorporating the 10 steps I'm about to share into your daily life, you can take real control of your hypertension, either by managing it without medications or at the very least, reducing the number of pills you need if you are currently on multiple treatments, okay? Well, before we dive in, I have a quick request. I recently started this channel with a single mission, okay? To share clear, practical information that genuinely improves lives. There's no commercial agenda here, okay? My goal is simply to help people make meaningful, lasting changes to their health. By subscribing, you support that mission, okay? And by turning on the notifications, you will never miss new content designed to help you take control of your well-being, okay? Now, without any further delay, let us move into the first steps towards taking charge of your blood pressure, okay? Step number 1, adopt a low-carbohydrate eating approach, okay? At the core of high blood pressure is the build-up of excess fluid and sodium in your body, okay? This overload causes blood vessels to become distended and tense, which drives blood pressure upwards. One of the most effective ways to address this problem is by shifting towards a low carbohydrate eating pattern, okay? The real issue is not simply consuming too much salt, it is the body's reduced ability to get rid of it efficiently, okay? Your kidneys are naturally designed to excrete excess sodium and water. These protective mechanisms are built into your biology, okay? So why do they stop working properly? The answer lies largely in modern carbohydrate-heavy diets, okay? Diets in refined carbohydrates, processed foods, and added sugars cause insulin levels to remain chronically elevated. When insulin stays high, the body holds on to sodium and water. Blood vessels swell, resistance increases, and blood pressure rises. If your goal is to truly reverse hypertension, the highest priority dietary change is reducing carbohydrate intake. This means completely removing simple sugars and significantly cutting back on refined carbohydrates, okay? Ideally, daily carbohydrate intake should be reduced to less than 30% of the total calories. As insulin sensitivity improves, the body begins releasing excess fluid and sodium. The kidney's natural protective system reactivates and blood pressure can begin to fall as part of lifestyle-driven improvements, okay? For this reason, a low-carbohydrate eating model forms a cornerstone of effective blood pressure management. Now, let us move on to the second point, and I want you to pay close attention to this one, okay? Step 2, eliminate harmful cooking oils as part of medication-free blood pressure control, okay? Well, I know this may sound unconventional at first, but if I had started by talking about salt, it would have matched what most people expect to hear. But one of the major reasons hypertension has become so widespread today, affecting nearly 1/3 of adults over 30 years and more than half of those who are over 40 years, is the widespread use of something our ancestors never consumed in large amounts. That is industrially refined oils, okay? This includes omega-6 heavy refined oils such as sunflower oil, canola oil, soybean oil, and corn oil, okay? These oils are highly concentrated sources of omega-6 fatty acids. When the balance between omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids in the body is disrupted, that is, when omega-6 intake becomes excessive and omega-3 intake drops, chronic inflammation begins to develop, okay? That inflammation doesn't stay localized in a single place. It damages pancreatic cells and also impairs insulin regulation. Additionally, it also injures the inner lining of blood vessels, which leads to increased vascular resistance. Insulin levels rise, insulin resistance develops, vessel walls stiffen, and pressure inside the arteries increases. All of these processes feeds directly into the development of high blood pressure, also known as hypertension. This is why changing oils in your kitchen is essential. You must move away from omega-6 loaded refined oils. Simply adding omega-3 supplements is not enough, okay? As long as excessive omega-6 oils remain in your diet, the balance cannot be restored. The solution is to remove these oils entirely and replace them with high quality, more stable fats, okay? The third major factor in blood pressure control that demands attention is processed foods consumption, okay? Well, when we talk about processed foods, we are referring to products made using very high temperatures and loaded with chemical additives, okay? You know, when you cook fresh food at home, no one adds nitrates, large amounts of monosodium glutamate, nitrosamines, or excessive preservatives. You don't load meals with potassium salts or industrial sodium blends, okay? But that's exactly what happens in factory produced foods. Items like sausages, salami, hot dogs, packaged cookies, crackers, and snacks made with refined oils and palm oil place significant stress on the body. These products alone dramatically increases risks of both hypertension and diabetes. A simple rule applies here, okay? The longer the ingredient lists, the more heavily processed the food is. As processing increases, so does the damage, okay? High heat manufacturing, harmful refined oils, excessive salts, chemical preservatives, and additives such as monosodium glutamate all work together to create the perfect environment for high blood pressure to develop. This is why processed foods should not be a regular part of your daily diet, okay? There is also a troubling reality we can't ignore. Because of widespread processed food consumption, high blood pressure is now appearing in people at increasingly younger ages, okay? Someone may eat reasonable portions, exercise consistently, and still struggle with blood pressure if processed foods remain part of their diet, okay? These products must be removed from daily life. If a food comes in a package, pause before buying it. Turn it over. Read the ingredient list carefully, okay? If you are not checking ingredients, understand this clearly, okay? You are not moving in the right direction towards blood pressure control. Now, let us move on to the fourth point. This point is especially important because many people believe they are already paying attention to it when in reality they are not. The fourth step is eliminating sugar from daily life. I spoke earlier about reducing carbohydrates overall, but sugar deserves a special focus, okay? It is a concentrated energy source that should be removed entirely. Sugars does provide calories, glucose, fructose, and high fructose syrup can technically be used as fuel by the body. But when these sugars are consumed regularly and in excess, they drive insulin resistance, promote fatty liver disease, damage blood vessels, increase arterial stiffness, trigger chronic inflammation, and ultimately raise blood pressure, okay? If your goal is to reverse hypertension completely, one of the most effective changes you can make is stepping away from habitual sugar consumption, okay? That means reconsidering desserts after dinner. It also means breaking the routine of eating sweets after every lunch, okay? These habits may feel small, but over time, they play a major role in keeping insulin elevated and blood pressure high, okay? Well, removing sugar is not about deprivation, okay? It's about giving your metabolism and blood vessels a chance to recover completely, okay? Next on the list is long distance walking. Extended walks plays a powerful role in reversing insulin resistance, helping the body release excess salt and water, restoring insulin sensitivity, relaxing blood vessels, and significantly lowering stress levels. Walking for longer distances is one of the most natural and effective tools against hypertension, okay? Please exercise. People who walk consistently and for sufficient duration often see their blood pressure fall by 8 to 20 points, a reduction that can rival the effect of medications, okay? Walking encourages the body to regulate blood pressure naturally without side effects. It improves circulation, supports metabolic health, and steadily brings blood pressure down over time, okay? In simple terms, regular long walks are one of the most effective accessible ways to lower blood pressure naturally, okay? That is without the use of medications.